and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bonnie, and I just want to say that I'm so glad that you're here. Today my heart is so heavy for all the things that are going on around our world. I wonder if yours is also. Let's take a few minutes and let's talk about it. Grab your coffee, maybe your hot tea, and your Bible. Let's study His Word. Life has moments that shake us, moments of great loss, moments of deep pain, moments where we can't make sense of what just happened. We find ourselves asking why and trying to piece it all together. But Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 tells us something very different. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but acknowledge Him in all your ways, and He will make your path straight." God doesn't ask us to understand everything. He asks us to trust Him. Our understanding is so limited, but His wisdom is eternal. When we're hurting, it's hard to surrender and it feels impossible. But this is where our faith becomes real. I remember years ago being in a very dark and low place in my walk with Him, and He was trying to teach me faith. And I remember one morning He made it so simple for me. He said to me, whenever you hear the word faith, I want you to associate it with the word trust. Now, this trust wasn't a trust in myself or a trust in my bank account or my job or my family or even my church. It was a trust in Him, a deep-rooted trust in Him. My journey through coming out of a cycle of abuse, the whole thing took about 5 years, but the first 2 years I remember the only thing that I heard Him say to me morning, noon, and night was trust me. I remember even dreaming that He would say to me, trust me. When I would wake up first thing in the morning and I would first open my eyes, I would say, I love you, Lord, and He would say, trust me. And I knew that I had to trust Him that day and every day. We have to choose to lay down our fears, our confusion, our frustrations, our hatred, and our questions. We have to put them in the hands of the one who loves us so much. But here's the promise. He promises that He will direct our path. Now, that doesn't mean that our path is going to be easy or pain-free, but it does mean that He will lead us safely through it. I want to beg you today, please don't ever harbor hatred in your heart. It's poisonous to your heart and it's poisonous to your soul. If you feel hatred in your heart, I want to encourage you to lay that before the Lord, to pour your heart out and tell Him that, and allow Him to work in and through you so that you can rid yourself of hatred. Hebrews 12:15 says, "See to it that no one fails to fall short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many." Proverbs 14, verse 30 says, "A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Harboring negative emotions like envy and hatred and bitterness, they're destructive. They're destructive to you, and they're destructive to everyone around you. So instead of holding on to these negative emotions, I want to challenge you today. Pray. Pray. Give it to God in prayer. Also want to ask you to pray. Pray for those that have hate in their heart and they want to hurt others. Pray for the families that are left behind because of violent hatred. Not only for those that have been murdered, but for those who've been attacked or intimidated through hatred in any way. Pray for our nation like you've never prayed for our nation before. If Jesus calls you to make a stand for his name, do it. Don't hesitate. Go and do it. Share your faith with others. You let him deal with the outcome, but if he asks you to do something, to make a stand, do it. Do it. God has a plan and a purpose for each one of us. We're not here by mistake. We're here for such a time as this. He has given each one of us gifts and talents that belong to us, that we are to share with this world. Several months ago, I was picking up my groceries at Giant, and I walked out to the parking lot and I was unloading my car, and the guy that collects carts, I'd never seen him before, but he was walking towards me, and he and I kind of made eye contact with each other. And I was getting the last few things out, and he was coming to get my cart, and I said to him, "Good morning, how are you?" And he said, "Good morning, I'm good, how are you?" And I said, "I'm well." And he said to me, "Do you know what the worst day is in my job?" And I said, "No, what day?" And he said, "Sunday, because those Christians come on Sunday after church," and he says, "they're so rude and they're disrespectful and they're so hateful to me." My heart hurt for him, and I said, "I'm so sorry. I am a Christian." And I said, "I'm so sorry for the way that they treated you. That's not right." We had a few more words with each other and talked a little bit more, and he took my card, and I said, "Have a good day." And he said, "Thank you, you too." And I remember getting into my car, and I just wanted to cry because I thought to myself, we are witnessing to everyone around us. Are we witnessing a Christ that is of love? Are we witnessing about Jesus that is kind and caring and thoughtful? Or are we witnessing a Jesus that is hateful and snappy and has a bad attitude and says rude and hurtful things to others? What kind of a Christ are we witnessing to the people out there? We have an assignment here. We may not ever stand on some huge stage or be famous on television to witness Jesus, but we witness to those that God has placed in our immediate area and those that he's placed around us. It is our job to witness Jesus to them, to share discipleship, make disciples of other people. And how are we doing that? We may not have to ever memorize the Bible to witness Jesus to people. It's through our attitudes. It's through how we act and how we respond to people and how kind we are and how caring and thoughtful that we are. I want you, in your prayer time, I want you to storm heaven, and I want you to ask and I want you to beg God to show you, what is my assignment here? Call out to him. Ask him. He'll start to show you what your gifts and your talents are, what the plan and the purpose is, and what your assignment is here on this earth. If you're walking through heartbreak today, I want to remind you of this. You don't have to carry the weight of understanding it all. You can rest in a God that has all understanding. Trust him with your whole heart and know that he will walk you through one step at a time, one moment at a time, and take you into his hope and into his peace. I pray that this was an encouragement to you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you soon.